All right, take two. Hi everybody, welcome back to I Heart Cross Stitch. My name is Andrea and this is my September update. I have to talk really fast to get this video done in 45 minutes. My son will be home in 45 minutes and I don't have any pants on. I can't believe I just said that, but it's true. I'm not wearing pants. It's hot. I have the air conditioner turned up so that it won't be running while I record this video. And yeah, nobody's here. So why do I have to wear pants? And I'm sure I'm not the only one who makes videos without pants on. There are plenty of you that make videos without pants on, and don't deny it. Don't deny it. You know it's true. Okay. All right. So let me look at my notes. Whew. All right. Before I begin, I'm just going to say this right now. I think I'm going to have a hard time formulating my words and my thoughts today and trying to remember things because I'm very, very tired. I'm trying to psych myself up to make this video so that I can show you guys some kind of energy. But if it were up to me, I would lay down and go to sleep and sleep for the rest of the day. I have no idea why I'm so tired. Yesterday and today I have just been absolutely exhausted, but it's not like I've done anything that would make a normal person exhausted, you know. I've been taking my iron supplements, so I don't know. Okay. All right, so I'm going to be, and in the past, I've called them shout-outs, but I think I'm going to change the name of that. I'm not going to call it shout-outs anymore. I'm going to call it acknowledgements. And I'm going to talk about a few things that's not stitchy related. And yes, I said stitchy. I'm going to show you the projects that I worked on in September, some things that I have bought, and whatever else comes up. Okay. So first, my acknowledgements. 4 stitchers that I started watching in September. Well, you know what? 2 of these stitchers are stitchers that I watched prior. I probably started watching them in August. And these are the ones that I wanted to acknowledge in my previous video, but I forgot to write their names down. The first 2. And then the 3rd and the 4th stitchers, they just started making videos. They might have like 1 or 2 videos out. So, all right. So the first one is Jen, and her channel name is Felicity Stitches. And I don't know how many videos she has up, maybe 4 or 5, perhaps more. But I really enjoyed watching her videos. She just is so natural on camera, and it just feels like when you're watching her videos, it feels like you're sitting down with an old friend and, you know, talking about stitching and catching up on life, and I really appreciate that about her. The second channel I'd like to acknowledge is Felicity from Flissy Fish Cross Stitch. Now, if you haven't seen her videos and you're into heaven and earth designs, you should check her out. Well, you should check her out regardless. But like if you really like Hades, check her out. She is working on this huge Elsa from Frozen. It is spectacular. It is absolutely stunning. And so I think that she deserves to be acknowledged for that. The third stitcher I'd like to talk to you about today is Elena B., also known as Olivia B.'s sister. So if you watch Olivia B., I'm sure you do. Everybody watches Olivia B. She is a treasure. And she had her sister on as a guest in one of her, I think it was probably her last video, or maybe the one before that, I'm not sure. But she had her sister on, and just watching the dynamic between the two sisters it was so entertaining. And so Olivia's sister, Elena, decided to make a channel of her own, and thank goodness she did. What a... She's just like a breath of fresh air. And you know what? I forgot. Usually when I make videos, I make it so that I don't get any notifications and I don't get any phone calls, or I put my phone on like do not disturb mode, and I forgot to do that, so I hope nobody calls me. Alright, so Elena B, you're awesome. I hope you watch my videos. That would be cool if you did. Alright, so the last stitcher I'd like to talk to you about. Here, I'm going to put this right here. Okay. Okay. So, ever since I got on to Instagram, and if you're watching this and you're not on Instagram yet, I would highly recommend for you to do that. Like, if you're a FlossTuber and you make FlossTube channels and you're not on Instagram yet, just please consider doing that, because Instagram is absolutely fantastic community. At least I've found it to be that way. All right, so anyhow, so ever since I joined Instagram, I have been a huge fan of this stitcher's work. Her on, oh, you know what? I think that her channel name is Handmade. It could be Handmade Stitches, I'm not sure. But on Instagram, her Instagram handle is Handmade. It's HANMAYDE. And ever since I've been on Instagram, I've always thought in my mind, if anybody needs to be making FlossTube videos, it is this stitcher. She is fantastic. Excuse me, I'm going to drink a glass of water here. Her projects are, I mean, I don't even have an adjective to describe how absolutely stunning her projects are. Especially she has this one, oh no, and I forgot. Oh. You see, I can't remember. But it's two projects that she has finished in the past, and one is like this, I think it's a counted canvas, but it's black, and I don't remember the name of it, and I'm so frustrated at myself. And then it's this other one that looks like it might be counted canvas, but she did it in these cream colors. Anyhow, if you watch her channel, she shows them in her first video, I think, or maybe her second video. I don't remember. But anyhow, I've been a fan of hers for a long time. She decided to finally make FlossTube videos. I was absolutely ecstatic and thrilled to see her on FlossTube. So please do yourself a favor and check her out. Okay. All right, so now let's see, I am in 8 minutes in. Okay, I gotta talk faster. All right. Some other things I'd like to talk about. First of all, if you are in the city of Las Vegas, I would like to extend to you my words of comfort, and I'm so very sorry about what happened in your city. I hope that nobody, it is a tragedy. All of the lives lost, it's an absolute tragedy, and I wish that no one had lost their life. But I sincerely hope that no one in the FlossTube community lost anyone in Las Vegas a few days ago. But if you or anyone that you know was affected by the events that occurred in Las Vegas, please accept my sincere words of comfort and consolation, and it's just a horrible thing that happened. Another thing I'd like to talk about is I'd like to talk about Puerto Rico. Now, I've never been to Puerto Rico, unfortunately. I wish that I had gone a long time ago. But my husband is from Puerto Rico, and all of his family is from there as well. And at this moment, I'm not gonna go into how I feel about politics and things, but at this moment, I'm very unhappy. We have a lot of family in Puerto Rico. My husband does, and they're my family too, by marriage. But there are many. My sister-in-law, the one that I stitched Paris Market for, she hasn't been able to contact her father at all since the Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, and he lives on the west side of Puerto Rico, and in a city called Mayagüez, I think. But he's as far away from San Juan as you can get. So I don't know how long it's going to take for relief and aid to get to where he lives. My husband's family lives on the east side of Puerto Rico, and the eye of the hurricane did go over the town that he used to live in. We were able to hear from one of his cousins like right after the storm hit, and she just said everyone was okay. So no one in his family lost their lives, but we don't know how they're doing. We don't know if their homes, if they're still able to live in their homes, if they have any, if they have enough food, if they have enough water. We have not been able to contact them at all. So if you are the praying sort, or if you're not, think good thoughts, or just if you could just send some positivity out, or pray for the people of Puerto Rico. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. All right. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is something that I forgot to talk about in my past 2 videos, and that is Go Gold for Charlotte. Now, if you remember last year, in the month of September, I worked on Queen Anne's lace for the entire month of September, because September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Gold is the color to represent that particular awareness, and Queen Anne's lace by Lavender and Lace, her dress is practically all gold Kreinik and gold colored DMC floss. And I did have that event again this year, but I completely forgot to talk about it on my channels. Regardless of that, there were some people who still participated with me. I would like to thank Becky, the Obsessed Stitcher, and also Jessie Marie. And if there is anybody else that participated, in order to participate in Go Gold for Charlotte, you would just have to, stitch something with a little bit of gold in it and post it on Instagram with the hashtag Go Gold for Charlotte. And in case you don't know, Charlotte is a little girl who lives in Indiana, and she's 4 years old, I think. Now, 4? I'm pretty sure she's 4. But when she was 18 months old, I believe, she was diagnosed with cancer. And it's something that her and her family are still battling. So I got a hold of Charlotte's mom, and I told her that, to look on Instagram under this particular hashtag, so that she and Charlotte could see all of the projects that we stitched in September, while thinking of her and all of the other children that are suffering with cancer. And I did work on Queen Anne's lace in September, so I'll show you my progress on that in a little bit. Okay, another thing I'd like to talk about is in just a few miles away from me, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes away from me, is a bead shop, which I think is one of the coolest things. I've been in there. I don't know if I talked about it before in my video on my channel, but if you and they sell the beads that come with chatelaines. So if you're working on a chatelaine and you run out of beads, or you want, it's delicate beads. They sell delicate beads, and they sell these other beads that come from Japan. I forgot what they're called. But if you are working on a chatelaine and you need extra beads, let me know. I can go to the bead shop for you. And if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that a couple of weeks ago I went to I suppose you could call it an LNS. It's mostly a shop geared toward needlepoint, but he has a lot of threads. And I posted pictures of that shop on my Instagram, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check on my Instagram, iHeartCrossStitch. But the name of the shop is called Silk Road Needle Arts, and oh man, I went there to get some floss that I'll show you in a little bit, and it was so hard to leave. I just wanted to stay there for a long time, but I had some other things I had to do that day. So if you're ever in the Tampa Bay area and you want to go to see some absolutely stunning threads in person, go to Silk Road. It's in St. Petersburg, Florida. Okay, another thing I'd like to talk about. All right, so I was watching Becky, the Obsessed Stitchers. Hi, Becky. I was watching her video, and she was showing her haul, and she showed that she had gotten Spring Queen. And I made a comment on her video saying how incredibly fortunate she is to have found Spring Queen by Mirabilia, because it's not to be found anymore. And I am so upset. Spring Queen has been on my wish list for as long as I've had a wish list. It's one of the first things that I put on my 123 stitch wish list. And I could kick myself for not buying it. I don't know why. I just assumed that it would be around for a long time, and it's not. I have gone to so many cross-stitch websites to find Spring Queen, and I have not been able to find her anywhere. I think there is one up for sale on eBay, but it's at a ridiculous price. So I'm putting out a plea. If you have Mirabilia's Spring Queen and you would like to sell it to me, I would be more than happy to buy it from you at a reasonable price. I'm not going to, spend $200 or, something like that. Or if there is anything in my stash that you want to trade, if you want to trade, I'm open to a trade. I'm open to buying it from you, whatever. Okay. Just putting that out there, because I can't find it. Spring Queen is, you know what? I went on to the 123 Stitch website, and there are a lot of Mirabilias on that are not there anymore, and I'm very concerned. Spring Queen is not there, and the one with the two mermaids, like Mermaids of the Deep Blue, I think it's called, that's not there anymore. And I really, really, really wanted that one too. It just goes to show that you should get these things when they're available. Okay. Speaking of mermaids, a couple weeks ago, I was watching Brittany at Ingleside Imaginarium's FlossTube, and she showed this. Let me see if I can. I can't pull it up. No, I can't. No, I can't. All right. Anyhow, I was watching her FlossTube, and she showed this project, and I stopped what I was doing, and just like my mouth just dropped, and I gasped. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Those are the projects that are my favorite. Projects where you see it and you're just stopped in your tracks and you gasp and you're speechless because you're just so enamored or in love with whatever design happens to be, causing that reaction in you. And I was just, that was the beginning of my obsession with this particular project that I'm going to talk to you about. Then I saw it again on Instagram, on Hannah's Instagram, Handmade. And then she showed it again in her FlossTube video, and it's Red Mermaid. And I don't know who makes it. I don't remember the maker of it, but there are some for sale on eBay, and I am absolutely, completely obsessed with Red Mermaid. That's kind of like one of the, there's some projects where you're like, oh, I'd like to stitch that one day. And then there are some projects where like, yeah, I'd really like to stitch that. And then there are certain projects where it's kind of like, I have to stitch that. I cannot reach the end of my life and not have stitched that at some point. That's kind of, it's like you absolutely have to do it. That's how I feel about that Red Mermaid. I have to stitch that. There's no way I can't. So I cannot wait to get that from eBay. Cannot wait. It's a kit, and I think I'm not sure. I think it might come from the Ukraine or Russia or something. Okay, so I've talked for 22 minutes and I haven't shown you any stitching. My apologies. All right, would you like to see what I have been working on in September? I will show you the very first one, Flowers in a Vase. Here, let me move this out of the way. All right, so here it is, all in its entirety. And I believe that most of this is new from the last time you've seen it. It is very cloudy and gloomy outside, so there's not that much natural light coming in, so I have a lot of my lamps on to provide light in here, so the lighting is not that great. So here I am with that. I'm working on this the first week of every month. In the month of October, I worked on this for just 5 days, the 1st through the 5th. So today I'll be switching projects because I would like to have an extra day with the next project I'm going to work on, which is Mini Evergreen, my Hade. So here I am on that. I believe that this is all new. All right. Okay, so the next project I worked on in September is my Hade. And I did not work a lot on this because of Hurricane Irma. I was doing a lot of preparation, getting everything ready And then once everybody was here, it was very difficult to stitch. And then after the hurricane was over, it was very difficult to stitch. So I really did not get a lot of progress done on this. Here's what it'll look like when it's over, when it's complete. This is by Andy Russell. It's called Daybreak. And here's my progress so far. Let me open it up a bit.